5 or whatever it is. I'm now live here until we get Simplex Radio Net on YouTube. Go to K4PEW. Put it in the search block. Now you can see the face of my radio. You can also go to 146.415.net for information on Simplex and what we do for fun here. And also you can go to groups.io under GROUPS.India Oscar. Then just do a search in their search block for MJSS, which stands for Mount Juliet Simplex Society, in case you were wondering. Or you can send me an email at k4pew@arrl.net. That's, of course, my call, K4PEW. And that normally meets at 8 p.m. on Wednesdays and Saturday nights. We've been doing that now for the middle of our 9th year, I believe. Just about the middle. Let's see, September, October, November, December, January. Yeah, the middle of the 9th year. Just close to it anyway. And we hope to be doing it a lot longer. We're conducting that as always here on 146.415 FM Simplex. The purpose of that is to have fun. Hopefully it's fun, or they wouldn't be here. We're not getting paid. But tonight might be an extraordinary night or the next day or so, because we've got a storm coming up, and I hope everybody's prepared. Maybe we'll talk about that if you want to. Any other events? I can't think. I threw in another net tonight, a quick one. We're going to do the 2-meter net here. I'm going to go to 70 centimeters on 446.415. Then we're going to go to 10 meters on 28.415 upper side band. And then on to 223.415. So hold on one second. Just want to make sure here we're starting from the west. It's net number 874. We're going to go ahead and get started unless anybody has any announcements that I don't have. 10-meter net, Sunday night. Forgot about that. 10-meter Sunday night, 7:30 p.m. Be there. Every once in a while, like we did Sunday night, we had a California check-in, which is kind of cool. That isn't normal at these nights recently, but we've had a whole bunches of people from around the country on past 10-meter nets. Not necessarily on Wednesday nights. We don't seem to get too many of those on Wednesday nights, but we get them on Sunday night. 415 at 7:30 p.m. Sunday nights, ably handled by Michael KM4YRF. Any other announcements?
Question.
Yeah, go ahead. Question.
Hey, Paul. This is Earl. I was just curious if anyone's experienced a condition of 2 meters bleeping out the whole spectrum of the band here lately in the last several months or so.
Is that what's happening over here? It kind of just obliterates something is obliterating the band.
It's the whole band. Yeah. I was just curious if anyone else has experienced that as well. I don't know, maybe the wind blowing my antenna or something, this, that, and other, or something out of my understanding.
Well, we can certainly ask. Hopefully some people are listening. They'll tell us if they've had any experience in it. I noticed there's a fair amount of interference on the band. In fact, your signal is noisier than normal. I know that. But we'll ask. In fact, we can send it out to the group as well for the 200, see if anybody's else experienced. Usually it's just wiping it out so you can't transmit, or it's just, are you not getting anybody, or you're seeing a lot of interference on the band?
Well, let's see. Well, I haven't really experienced trying to transmit it, but it's like a 9 over at times, just with any day or hour of the day. It just seems to, of course, this 9700, it's got back there spectrum scope on it, if you will. And I mean, sometimes I'll be, just breaks the squelch, so to speak, if you don't have the spectrum scope. It just, wipes out the whole band. And it's, I don't know if anyone, I was just curious if anyone else was experiencing similar situations, or if I need to tighten up and recheck the maintenance on my antennas.
Well, we'll find out. And like I said, if we don't get any feedback tonight, we'll just put the question out to the 200 or so people on the net, see if they're having any problems. Okay, Eller? Okay, Earl?
Okay, I appreciate it. 84
Very good. That was Earl asking the question if anybody else have seen the problems on the band where it just it has S9 signals that's covering him up. So he's not sure what's going on over there where he is. Or somebody's just jamming him. I don't know. Anyway, let's take, we're starting from the west on net number 874, but we're also, we're going to be taking mobile and people short on time first. Well, that was a quick mobile and short on time. Are we sure? K4V. How are you doing tonight? Pretty good. I can take it you're short on time. All right, very good, Michael. You have a good one. That's K4VVA, and he's in Hendersonville. That's Michael. I think did I hear Greg in there? Well, you must be mobile. I didn't hardly made any of that out. Well, I'll take that as a yes because I didn't copy any of that either. This is K4PEW. That's Greg, and he probably, I'm guessing, is mobile because the signals are really bad. That's KD4CVA. Anybody else mobile or short on time? All righty, we'll move right along. Start taking check-ins from the west. Please come now.
KM4 YRF Michael, and that was Greg. He said he'd catch you on the next net.
Okay, very good. Well, that was a really bad signal. Did you hear him well?
Oh yeah, he was like 40 over to me.
Oh, that's interesting because he was really broken up to me. I don't know why.
Well, you could tell he was vocal, but he had a great signal to me.
Okay, he may be coming back from his work there up by Opry Mill. Anyway, anything else on that, Mike?
Yes, not Paul. So I'll say back to net control.
Very good. Is Rick going to be around today?
I think I heard him in there earlier.
Okay, well, very good. We'll see if he shows up. Anyway, that's good. That's Michael KM4YRF. He's just west of the BNA, the airport, and he does the nets on Sunday nights on the 10-meter net at 7:30. Who else is west? Hey, Jeff. I was going to get back to you on that thing we talked about. I couldn't find it. I couldn't find the name of the company. I thought I had it right in hand. I don't know where it is. My papers are in a mess.
That's okay. See, when was the last one of the last nets I was on had that I got that 1 1/4 meters, nothing broke the squelch. I had to be on tonight, and you didn't even break the squelch on this frequency. So there's one of the parameters I don't have adjusted right where I can receive. I mean, it'll transmit on Simplex. I've keyed up a couple repeaters, but I just can't receive anything. So apparently I don't have something, turned on or whatever.
It wouldn't seem to be that complicated on FM. Is it that messed up? I mean, which radio is it?
Say that again?
Which radio are you using for the 223?
That Balfine, so what's the model number on it? It's a UV5RX3.
That shouldn't be. I can't imagine what setting you'd have off on a received capability. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense on Simplex. As long as there's no offset.
I don't know. And now I'm breaking the squelch. I just turned it on, but I can hear myself do it, but I can't. I even bought the longer antenna, the 17-inch antenna for it, but it's just not receiving anything. So I don't know what the deal is on my Yaesu HT. I've talked to you, here sitting here in the house before, so I don't know what's going on with it.
I don't know. Let's hope we get it figured out. Well, very good. You got anything else for the net, Jeff? You doing okay?
Yeah, just I'm just tired. I've been up a lot of hours, but maybe I can figure it out because I really like doing that 1 1/4 meters, but I can't do it. So I'll keep tinkering with it. Maybe I'll figure it out. WY4G.
All right, Rick. together, either on the phone or whatever, and we can maybe talk our way through it. I think you know my phone. But you can always email me and I'll give you if you don't already have the phone number. Anyway, that was Whiskey Yankee 4 Golf Jeff. He's in Madison. Who else is Wes?
One more thing, Paul.
Yeah, go ahead.
One more item.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I did send you an email to the ARRL address you have, and it got bounced back to me. So I don't know why, but I know I typed everything correctly, but it came back to me. So I don't know. I guess that's the same on your end.
Yeah, it should be the same. It's my call, K4PEW@ARRL.net.
Okay, I'll try it again and see if it comes back. That's all I have, WY4G.
Or you can always reach me at that other one. It's the word brain, BRAIN .trust, TRUST, yahoo.com.
Okay, well, I'll just try the ARRL one again, because I don't have your phone number, but, I don't know. We'll do something, WY4G.
Yeah, very. If not, I'll email you and give you my phone number. How's that?
Okay, that'll work. That'll work just fine, thanks.
And Whiskey Yankee 4 Golf Jeff in Madison. Who else is West?
Kilo Golf 4, India Lima Victor.
Hello, Jack. You'll be batting down the hatches for the next 24 hours.
Yeah, I'm hoping my antennas will stay up there.
Well, yeah, very good. Anything else for the net? You doing all right?
Visit today, everything was good, so I'm doing great.
Yeah, doctors lie.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, very good. They just want you to keep coming back. All right, that was good. That was a Jack, Kilo Golf 4, India Lima Victor. Glad you had a good doctor's report. Anybody else, West? Please come in. Squelch?
That's Rick.
Okay. So we got KN for TJF. Rick, you're. He says his squelch breaking sounds good though, but I can't hear a word.
Rick, he said your squelch breaking sounds good, but you couldn't hear a word.
All right, very good. We're taking him in. That's Kilo, November 4 Tango, Juliet Foxtrot. Some of you may be able to hear him. That's Rick. It's going to be odd because of the storm coming this way. Who else is West? He's coming now. Although we on the band, I think so, but everything's going good on your end. Are you prepared with your 100% solar powered battery system for the storms? Very good. That's you must be an old Boy Scout. Be prepared. Understand. Well, very good. Anything else other than that, Bill? Very good. That's Bill in Murphy's for November Yankee. Who else is Sal?
Kilo Echo 4 Sierra Yankee.
Very good. Weather hasn't hit you yet, has it?
No, not yet.
Well, very good. Anything else for the net?
No, man. Wifey.
Very good. That's Larry, Kilo Echo 4 Sierra Yankee Victor. He's in Rockville. Who else is south?
Yeah.
You're not very far south there, Eddie.
Well, I'm in here. Not very far.
Oh, that's good. You doing okay?
Oh, yeah. Just staying busy.
I stay busy doing nothing.
Yeah.
Retire from being retired and start.
Yeah, I'm tired from being retired, too.
Still making it to the rowing machine regular?
Couple of days.
20-minute segments. And I tried yesterday to do 3 20-minute segments. And when I finished, I
Don't overdo it there.
I'm telling you, beat me up. I couldn't believe I finished it.
I kind of take it slow. Well, thanks for doing the net. Hope everybody's doing okay. W4EBX.
Just to get it's the way I'm doing it in 20 minutes. I can't even believe I do it. I'm glad I don't have to count 600 strokes every 20 minutes.
Wow. Well, you got me beat.
Well, again, I've been doing it a while, so I wouldn't get too discouraged by that. But it's still, no matter how you cut it, it's work.
Yeah, it's amazing how strong we used to be. And now, total.
Yeah, I agree. It's not. No, it's not. That's not quite accurate. I think it's strong. It's just that I'm afraid I'm.
Yeah, that happens too. So you better watch out.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting. I don't want to hurt myself. It's really the problem. That's why I don't lift heavy weights and I don't go crazy on that rowing machines. I mean, really crazy. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, so I gotta be careful. Anyway, it's Eddie, Whiskey 4, Echo, Bravo, X-Ray. Who else is Sal?
Whiskey, Victor 4 Delta, Ken in Smyrna.
See, there's Pop, my man. He's strong to the finish because he eats his. Yo, Ken, you copy?
Yeah, I am now. I'm away from the computer and laser running because it puts a lot of noise on audio.
Very good.
Yes, sir. Doing better and better. Things are going good. Just kind of battening down the hatches for tonight.
Yeah, I know. It's night and I guess and tomorrow too. I mean, they say there's some possibility of tornadoes, and I don't like the idea of that. Street and caused me about 20,000.
Oh yeah, that's right. I've seen several, and ran in a shelter and right over my grandfather's house, and then went on one side of the street and it was gone. Tore his barn and tore the roof off his house and didn't touch ours.
Oh wow, that's well. But it's very, like I said, in my neighborhood, it tore up that one we had here in Nashville, Wilson County, etc. It killed 2 people at the end, took down 25 houses.
Yeah, that's not funny. Anyway, I'll say got a good signal. Paul is always down here. So you guys have a good night. This is WV4.
Who else is south? South or east?
Yep, W4 is that HI.
Oh, yeah, you just blasted whoever came in second. How you doing?
I'm doing fine, staying in and out the weather.
Yeah, it's not doing anything right now, is it?
No, I'm in the room with.
Your back room must not have.
Yeah, but just kind of want to make sure it's warm enough in here.
Oh, I got you. Everything going good for you this week on Valentine?
Well, my wife sent some little messages with pictures on them to her nieces.
Good, yep. Huge holiday for most people. I mean, it really was. I remember as a kid, we used to love it, you know, when we were little kids.
Yeah, that was a little while ago.
Yeah. It's been so long ago, I forgot most of it.
I'm a little bit older than you.
Not much. What do you have? What year? You were born in '48, weren't you?
47.
Okay, so you're 2. I forgot. You're 2 years older than me. But that doesn't, you know, when you were in school, doesn't matter. When you were, let's say, in 10th grade or 11th grade, you wouldn't even think about talking to people that are 2 years behind you. But then when you get older, nobody cares. Anything else for the net there, James?
I'm just having fun sitting here listening.
Very good. That's James here for Zulu Hotel India. Who else is East?
Yeah, for SIB.
And
How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm the one who bought the Valentine's Day card a week early for my wife. And
Well, that don't make you no bad guy.
no, it's. But she goes, "What's this for?" I said, "It's Valentine's." She goes, "No, it's not. It's next week." I said, "Well, give it back to me."
Extra prize next week when I give it back to you.
Yeah, very good. Anyway, how's it going for you?
Everybody's good. I'm at work and I'm just tickled pink. I'm always looking forward to 6 o'clock on Wednesday. But anyway, now everything's going. I've got to go get some Girl Scout cookies. My sister, my sister, my daughter tomorrow, and just 50 at work and buy them my day off. So you believe in that? Anyway, I'm going to take them some cookies and make a, put a smile on their face for a change.
Ah, very good. Anything else for the net?
No, I'm good, and I hope everybody else is too. Just stay dry and out of the wind, and we'll all go up at the net. Thank you, sir. That's great.
Very good. That's Richard, KI4SIB, and Stephanie, his bride, KI. By the way, Richard does one of the two Tuesday night W4EAO emergency group.
So we had both of them, 8 o'clock and 8:15 both.
Okay. Dozed off, and I said, "Where did everybody go?"
Well, they were kind of short last night. I had 5, and I think he had 6.
I'm not kidding. I slept right through. I'm sitting right here in front of the radio too. That's pretty bad. I'm gonna have to turn up the volume. Anyway, that's Richard and Stephanie, just west of downtown Lebanon. Who else is east?
Whiskey 8, Papa, Lima Alpha. Oh, not too much, Paul. How's things going there in Mount Juliet for you?
Well, it's up and down weather. The snow won't stay still on the slopes.
Oh, I hear you. Well, not much going on out here at Tucker's Crossroads. Went out and did a POTA activation at Creek State Park Monday, and then went over to Cedars of Lebanon yesterday. I think I had 70-something contacts there within about, and then I think about 63, something like that, yesterday at Cedars of Lebanon. Had a good time doing that. But just hope everybody and 7-3 to everybody. You're doing a good job. That's the HPLA back in that control.
And which bands were you working?
We were on 20 and 40.
Oh, that's awesome. And how long were you at each location?
No, we were, and we had about 4 or 5 of us that had joined up out there, and we had a few guys operating the radio, and we were taking turns. But yesterday, I had about 60 whatever it is contacts. And say, guys, I got to pack up and get out of here. They would have just kept coming, but man, you talking about a adrenaline rush.
Oh yeah. When you did that, you already had posted on the Parks on the Air site, correct?
That is correct. You look for a space or frequency or whatever it is, and then call out of course the frequency in use, and then you go into your POTA and you spot yourself on that frequency. And as you start making contacts, other people that contact you will go in there and respot you. Man, they just keep coming.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. It's almost they're all sitting there loaded for bear when you get on the air.
That's right. Talking about an adrenaline rush and getting the old gears turning upstairs and getting your ears and hands and all that in sync, buddy. Really putting the old ticker up top for a workout.
Yeah, I think I don't know if I heard you. When we take that old merchant naval vessel out to sea once or twice a year back down in Florida, it was marine, on the air, mobile marine, and it's a museum ship, and it's not, it's actually we didn't announce it ahead of time, and I was doing that same thing. I didn't even I called out once, you didn't have to say anymore, and it was piled up, and so I was having. So I said, well, wait a second. Let me back off. I said, we're going to go by zones now, the zones, the United States. And Another but one calls now. We do 1 calls, 2 calls, and then 3 calls. And so I accidentally skipped over one of the zones, and so he had to be maximum. He had legal limit. He goes, "Hey, you skipped over 4."
Yeah. Well, you might get the first, there's last 2. You just kind of had to, sort through them. Station ending in this. Come again, or you kind of keep an ear open for stations. That'd be another station that set another part. You get a little more bonus points, I think, for that, and then those QRP stations are open for those as well. But I tell you what, my hat's off to any net control, being able to, jot those call signs phonetically and whatnot, and just fit them in. I can't talk. I was having that trouble yesterday, but being able to copy them down and all that, and get all that in sync.
Oh yeah, it's a great experience. That's why it's often good to have a second person. They write it down, so you don't have to write it down. Now it's not a pain here, really. It would be pain there with that kind of a pile.
Well, I'm gonna let you get on with it there, Paul. I think you've got the north to go. W8PLA, back to net. Hope everybody stays safe.
Whiskey 8, Papa Lima Alpha, in Tucker's Crossroads, East of Lebanon. It was doing a bunch of Parks on the Air activations, in which I've never was at one Parks on the Air activation up in the Percy Priest area, but the Long Hunter State Park. That was earlier this year. No, late last year, I guess it was. Anyway, who else is east? You think you're ready for the wind and the breeze? Are you there, Stan?
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to get up.
Well, I noticed over the years that the Weather Service always says it's really going to be bad, and I think everybody into doing something.
Yeah, I'm back in certain kind of like it's going to rain, but usually it hurts different when it's going to have, where we're going to have severe weather. We'll see.
Maybe out of the Weather Service contact you.
You're pretty good, but I can't do it then today.
Very good. Anything else for the net, Stan?
Okay, I'm for HQE.
Very good. That's Stan, the Kilo Mike 4 Hotel Quebec Echo. Who else is east?
KG4CX.
Hey, Chris. Everything well in rural, holding down the fort at Rural Hill?
Doing the best we can, Paul. How about you?
The skiing, the slopes are terrible in this kind of weather. Well, I'm not kidding. It's so warm. And then flowers and the trees are going to get faked out and start blooming if it doesn't get cold again.
I know, it doesn't make sense. My sinuses and my...
I saw this one wearing white. No, it's an old. I had a friend of mine who said, "Oh, I can't believe how what a bad fashion statement that is to be wearing white." It just sounded so silly.
Funny.
Anyway, nothing else for the net. Been very active on HF at all?
No, I haven't, unfortunately. Just been a little too busy. But no, that's all I've got for the net. Just gonna wind down and do it again tomorrow.
You're gonna have to get that general tech if you want to.
I guess that's probably what I'd have to do.
All right, very good. That'll get you. That'll give you some impetus to get on the air, because at least you can. I don't know what your antenna situation is, but you could be on 10 and 6 all day long if you want to.
I think I would want something that could talk on some of the different bands other than what I've talked on previously if I got it. Yeah, I'd probably build an antenna. I've thought about it, haven't followed it up. But you're right, it would drive that to happen.
All right, very good. That is Chris. We'll go for Charlie X-Ray, which is about 5. For those of you who don't know where Rural Hill is, the big municipality of Rural Hill, south of Mount Juliet, kind of 5 miles. Who else is? That's about 80% of my geography that I know this area. Oh, one more time. There was a bunch of static in there. Let's say that again.
KG4MIC.
Ah, there you go. How you doing, Kevin?
Going on, Paul.
Yeah, it's pretty noisy from your end. I mean, is there anything going on there?
I'm not a thing. I'll let
All right, that was Kevin. He is in Lebanon over there by Cumberland University. Kilo Golf 4, Mike India Zoo. By the way, geography, I do know. I know where Cumberland University is. Who else is east?
K40.
Oh, there was a double in there, but Earl won. Earl. Yeah, you'll have to maybe write down the times that you have that interference problem. Maybe we can.
Well, it kind of comes and goes. You know, kind of like me. I pace the floor. Sometimes sometimes I'm not. It's been pretty well consistent the last few days. Apparently, you know, I don't know what it is, but it just wipes out the whole band. But the radar says that the weather is below us at this particular point. At my viewpoint, looking at location indicator on the radar thing, if that's any consolation. You don't really need there are some spectrums on 10 and 6 meters upper level license, but then again, on the other hand, you really don't need a license. You just need to have one of those there receivers slash transceivers if you want to upgrade later on to see what it is, what it ain't, if you really want to type thing. If you want, so to speak, for entertainment purposes, but for the most part, everything's hunky-dory, creamy over here, the big city of Stick City of Cedar City. The birds are singing, the sun is shining, and KE4 low out there, and I increased my power output from where I usually do to be like conditions dictate. I need to increase it can do. KE4 DZ.
Yeah, you're doing about S7 into my station here, Earl, so you're doing real fine. I would say that a fair amount of noise. I can hear you just fine, but there was a fair amount of static on it. Not sure why. I think the conditions tonight are a little funny. Earl, he's over in east of the Cedars of Lebanon Park, which is Noreen in Tennessee. Kilo Echo 4. Ooh, who is that? One more time, please, because I'm not getting it, copying you real well. Oh, is that the Kilo Quebec 4 Alpha Echo Tango, Chris? Is that who that is? Wow. Tonight, what happened?
I'm on my 8th peak, but yeah, I don't know what I'm outside, not even in the house. Usually you can get me pretty, but yeah.
It just got better, and I could hear you just.
That could be it. I stepped a little further away from the house, so maybe I was getting some sort of interference with something else.
Very good.
Just for the next 24 hours, and remember this going on, so just make sure everybody's got some sort of weather and a safe spot ready to go.
Ah, very good. Well, let's hope there's no serious storms, or we certainly don't want any. Anyway, that was Chris. He's also in Rural Hill. Kilo Quebec 4 Alpha Echo Tango. He's on his HT if you couldn't hear him. Who else is east? East or north?
KE4 TWF.
Hello, Mr. West. Your sector?
Yep, nothing's blown down yet. You know, I guess I'm kind of east. I'm actually. Anyway, Earl, if he's listening, in that area down Sparta Pike and Canesville, bad enough that it'll go up to 70 centimeters. I guarantee that's what it is. Earl, if you're listening, I've heard that too. Especially on a dry, windy day, it's rough. KE4 TWF.
And I did hear that, Wes. So, you know, I was kind of curious whether way the water. Well, anyway, it comes and goes. Appreciate it.
Very good. That was good. Thanks for that tip, Wes. Anything else good going on up in your area?
I dug holes for the tower that would go up here. I rented a 2-man auger and wrestled with that, and I'm sore. But they should have had a warning label on that thing. Will cause you to use muscles you didn't think you had. But no, everything's good. KE4 TW.
If I remember correctly, when I rented mine, and this is going back a lot of years, let's go back in the 70s, it's almost a 2-man job wrestling on those things.
Yeah, I can see that. It was a big 4-stroke. It was good, but I just didn't realize it would require you to wrestle with it as much. So yeah, an actual 2-man auger would have been better. Oh, but I didn't hit rock, so not complaining. Everything went good. KE4 TW.
Well, in my case, we had a lot. The house I built, I didn't personally build the whole thing. I did a bunch of other stuff, but I didn't build it. But the property was actually an old cypress swamp, so there was roots galore in the soil. And so when those, gas engine augers hit roots, they tend to have fits, especially if they can't just automatically just slice through them. I remember wrestling those, and we must have put in 50 posts. It wasn't fun. Anyway, I know what you're talking about, wrestling. Not fun at all. Anyway, that was Wes, and he's in northeast kind of Wilson County up there by the lake. KE4 TWI. Who else is east or north?
Kilo Echo 4, Romeo, Victor, Quebec.
Hello. Your foot any better?
Yeah, I'm up walking around. I'm actually doing pretty good. Hopefully, I should be released from rehab probably next week, and then I'm going to try to behave myself through April so I can get to Ireland, and when I come back, I'm going to hit the ground running.
Well, I've been through rehab myself. It's one of those things you can't avoid doing.
Yeah, boy, I'll tell you what, though. I mean, good Lord, that ought to be prescribed to an insomniac. It's that boring.
So that's what I'm getting at. It's just you have to have the discipline to do it. As a kid, I broke my left elbow, the elbow joint itself. I think I was 8 years old. And, I had the cast on. Of course, now my arm is in a permanent, at that point, it was in a permanent, locked position like the cast was. So after that came off, number one, my arm was weak. Number two, I had to actually my father filled up this bag full of weights. And I had, just lifting it and dropping it back down, pounding away those calcium buildups in that joint. I remember doing that. In fact, I didn't do it quite long enough because I have just a little couple of degrees less movement in my left arm than I do on my right.
Well, the biggest thing I'm having a problem with is balance, Paul, and I don't know if it's my age or my eyeball that I had to have the retina put back on, but I'm just not regaining balance real quick.
Well, how old are you now?
I'm 62.
Well, I'm not too surprised. That's one of the reasons I'm reluctant to do a lot of things now is because of balance. I just don't trust my balance as much. But I wouldn't think you'd have that. It might be something to do with that eye repair you had. I don't know.
Yeah, it does. I was having problems before I had this injury, but this no nice way to say it. It added insult to injury.
Yeah, no, I feel for you. I know what you're saying, but that foot issue, I'm sure you can work your way through that one.
Oh yeah, I got the willpower. I was sitting here. I got last. Well, you did see the news today, didn't you, about Raquel?
Oh yeah, we were. My wife goes, what? Because it said, in fact, they didn't announce the death on the news. Give you that little leader. They go, oh, and today we'll be remembering Raquel Welch. And she goes, did she die? I said, no. All he said was, we want to remember.
Yeah, it was. It was kind of a shocker because you just don't put his picture of being old enough to die. I was sitting here. I just got a new release of one of the new ambulances, or one of the old ambulances, 1969, from Ontario. And as a kid, I remember the darn thing. So I said, I can't be that old.
Yeah, well, she was 82.
Yeah, it was a shocker because it was evidently something that was just a real
Well, I've learned one thing about show business. They often don't tell the truth.
Yeah, that's true too. Like I said, I don't know how anybody could be that age. I know plastic surgery can do wonders, but she was, she was one of the most beautiful ladies I'd ever seen.
Oh yeah, she was quite vivacious.
Apollo 73, thanks for doing this. What's the other two frequencies we're going to be doing tonight?
446, 415, and 28, 415.
All right, I'll try to catch you on both of those.
Very good. We'll be there a little bit. That was Brett, Kilo Echo 4 Romeo Victor Quebec. He's in Northwest Wilson County. Who else is north?
Kilo Charlie 9 Echo Tango Sierra Paul North Mount Juliet.
You're like the itinerant Mount Juliet citizen.
Yeah, pop in when I can.
No, you're coming. Several of the signals were fairly noisy tonight, but yours is coming in solid as a rock.
Yeah, it's a little weird tonight. It's been up and down with a lot of people. I mean, you're strong as usual because you're right here, but a little strange. Not noisy though here anyway.
It was from some locations. It was kind of funny how. In fact, I can usually hear Ashland City, not tonight, and some of the other stations are just noisy. Not terribly noisy, but some were pretty bad. Of course, if somebody's using an HT, it's bad.
Yeah. I don't know. I heard there was some big sunspot thing or something I caught in the news, and I got back. I don't know if that has anything to do with it or if that's done with now.
Did you go any place special?
I was down in Fort Lauderdale, and then I was over in Phoenix.
Oh boy, Fort Lauderdale's nice this time of year.
It was beautiful.
Yeah, Fort Lauderdale is that's at least some parts of Fort Lauderdale. The lifestyles are rich and famous down there. It's the only place I know of that always has a private, at least one private yacht in the harbor there. I forget the name of the harbor, but it's they'll have a helicopter landing pad and a pool.
Oh yeah, I went for a walk down by the marinas at one point, and there are they're not even yachts. I mean, some of them are ships. I mean, some of those boats are pretty massive. The private boats.
Oh, some of those have these. I couldn't even tell you what size, but they have these huge diesels, twin engine, with twin props. I don't know. It's amazing how big some of those are. You're right. It just blows you away.
I'll have to find it somewhere. I got a picture of one of them that must have been doing an oil change, and there was like 6 55-gallon drums of heavyweight oil outside the thing.
Yeah, again, it's you're right. Those ships, they have to be crewed. You hire a crew. I mean, because I just can't imagine. Well, some of those are even corporate owned. So it's not like it's one guy, but some of them I think are one guy.
Yeah, it's a little of both. You can, it's like anything. You can look up the registration or the names of the boats and get a little bit of history on it. And yeah, some of them are like for hire, I guess. You can rent them out or whatever. But some of them, they were some very rich individuals.
Oh, I know. Well, I still, as big as those boats are, ships, I don't know what the biggest of them is. 150 feet, maybe? I don't really remember.
Yeah, I don't know. There were some close. I mean, I don't know what you can get in and out of some of those marinas. Like some of them were parked on like the straight piers and stuff. But I'd imagine just trying to get those things in there, especially on a windy day, has got to be a chore.
Yeah. The reason I say that is even when I look at those big pleasure boats, I would be reluctant to take those out to sea because the sea is not favorable to small craft like that.
Yeah, I'd imagine you've experienced the worst of it.
Well, yeah, and that's why I say it would just make me a little apprehensive to say, hey, that's a great idea. Let's cross the Atlantic, or let's go down to South America, or let's go, because I think it'd be like flying. Check the weather, then we go. We're not going to go just willy-nilly somewhere,
Yeah, and I know like the rough seas ain't gonna. One of the things I saw, which I thought was interesting, I was like, one of them had a cabin door open or something, an engine door, and I was just kind of peeking inside, and I forgot the name of the device, but some of them have like a counterweight ballast system in the back that's supposed to help keep the boat more stable. I imagine that the waves are big enough, it doesn't matter. It's the whole boat will tip. But I thought it was interesting that there's these people that sell these devices for private yachts and things that you can. It's some kind of a counterweight thing that's supposed to try to, I don't know if there's a gyro or something in there that tracks movement of the boat, but it's pretty crazy stuff.
Interesting. So it was an active device then. I mean, it wasn't just a static. I mean, it didn't react. It was actually actively doing something.
Yeah, yeah. It had a like a motor and a big flywheel or something. I'll have to try to dig it up. I was reading about it and I was down there. I was pretty fascinated by it. I didn't realize boats had stuff like that in them.
I didn't either. It is interesting though that they have that. I mean, there are other ways in the hull that they put things in there to keep to stabilize them while they're running. But like you said, when you're in rough seas, that thing bob around like a old tin can.
Yeah. Well, it's nice to dream about. I don't know. I mean, there's some pretty sizable things here in Old Hickory, but nothing like what I saw down there.
Yeah, a friend of mine he was a liveaboard down there in Tampa, just south of Tampa, and he had a 56-foot. And that thing seemed huge to me, so to speak. It had a one bedroom, and then there was some other fold out like in the sofas and stuff in the living space. But it's still, you go into the bathroom, the head on that ship, and it's still, it's about 2 feet by 2 feet.
Oh yeah. I don't know. It'd be nice. It'd be cool. A fun toy if you had the money.
Well, it was like my wife when she got to know me a little better. She goes, and when we first got together, she said, "I'm surprised you don't have a boat." And I said, "Why would I have a boat?" She said, "Because you were in the Navy." I go, "That's the reason I don't have a boat."
Yeah, I could see that.
No, it's just listen. As we used to call it, the underway. At sea. It's exciting to everybody at first. Genuinely, it's exciting to be at sea and the sights you see, and just a neat experience. But after a while, it's work.
Have you ever been on a cruise since then?
No, no, not unless you call it a riverboat cruise. In fact, at Fort Lauderdale had one. Fort Lauderdale had one on the inland waterway one time I went on, and I was on another steamboat somewhere. I don't know where it was. I don't recall. Oh yeah, it was on the Mississippi. But that's again, it's 2 hours or whatever.
Yeah, okay. I was curious. Yeah. Yeah, I've actually never been on one either. I love going out in my little boat on the lake here, but I've never really wanted to be on a boat with a bunch of other people.
Yeah, well, it's not the truth. I went out, took my 2 boys deep sea fishing one time out of Clearwater, Florida, and it was a bad day. It was already, it looked like it was going to be a rough day out. The fishing boat went out anyway. It's probably a 60, 70-foot ship. I don't know what it was, but we got out there and it was rough. And, one of my 2 boys was, thrown up over the side, and so were a bunch of other people. And they cut the trip short because of the weather issues. Nobody was catching anything. And it was rough. It was rough out in the Gulf of Mexico, but not rough like you get in seriously rough weather. I mean, out in the ocean, you can, 20-foot seas are kind of normal, and 40-foot seas are semi-normal, and even 60-foot seas once in a while, and you don't want to be in a small boat in one of that, in that kind of condition.
Yeah, no, I'll stick to Old Hickory. It gets rough enough out there.
Oh, but yeah, no, that's all good. No, boating can be fun. It's just there's a lot of work to owning the boat, as you know. I mean, it's working it in, getting it out, maintaining it, doing all the stuff you know what I'm saying. It's just work.
Oh yeah, you gotta want it.
Oh yeah, no, I love people who have boats, as long as I don't have to have them. Even when I see some of the boats, I say, oh man, there's one nice, some of the outboards you see are just beautiful, a couple 100 horse. You go, man, I'd love to have a couple of those. But then I go, nope, not gonna do it.
Like I said, best boat is a friend with a boat.
That's right. That guy who had that 56-footer, I said, you take it, when I first met him, I said, you take it out to the Gulf? Because, the boat leads right out to the Tampa Bay. I mean, the river does, where he had it ported. And then if you go out Tampa Bay, which is not a short trip out to the Gulf of Mexico, you take it out of the Gulf of Mexico. I can't afford to fuel up this thing. It's got twin, I think, 454, gas engines.
No, I couldn't even imagine just to idle the thing.
Anyway, we'll let you go there, Paul. That's Kilo Charlie 9, Echo Tango Sierra. Good to have you back on the net. Mr. Traveling Paul here. Who else is east or north?
WB0NO.
You're retired. You stay home.
Well, I do pretty much stay home. Kind of a homebody. But I do go out to the boat every now and then in the summer.
Oh, that's right. You got the sailboat. Where do you keep that?
It's 8/10 of a mile from the house on Old Hickory.
Oh, that's great. I forgot you told me. How big is it? What's the length? You know, the what's the beam with? Tell me that.
Yeah, it's 27 by 9.
Yeah, it's built for speed and not for comfort, right?
Yeah, it has an 8 horsepower diesel engine in it. So speed is not something we talk about.
Well, I mean, how much? What kind of hull speed can you get with the sails?
Well, it'll do about 7 knots maybe on a good day if you can hang on.
Oh, that's cool. I mean, that's what sailing's about. Though you're not trying to make a lobster. You're not looking for a fishtail behind you. You know those big rooster tails.
Yep. It's fun. I guess my thought was that if you're only going to go up and down the lake, and your idea is to spend time on the lake, you don't really need to be fast. Although I have taken it up to Kentucky Lake a couple of times, and that's been fun, but it takes 3 days to get there.
Oh wow, that's great though. No, you're right though. Why would you need speed if you're just having a good time? You know, I mean, you're not trying to get to another location in a hurry on the lake. I was going to tell you something about that. What was it? Something about the lake. Yeah, it doesn't. I'll think of it later. But oh yeah, I was going to tell you I was talking about that rooster tail. We would occasionally take. I say we, wasn't me doing it. The ship they occasionally scheduled full power runs on it, and it had two 4-bladed. Got to get this straight. Two 4-bladed 12-foot screws, or 12-foot diameters, propellers, and they would do about 300, 350 or 360 RPMs, but they could get that 390-foot vessel up to about 36 knots.
Oh wow, that's cooking in that big of a boat.
Oh, it is cooking, let me tell you. And it does put up a rooster tail behind the 390-foot. And that ship was only 41 feet wide at the beam for 390 feet long. So it's quite they built, like I said, they built for speed and maneuverability, not for comfort at all.
Yep. Well, that's neat. My grandfather bought me my first boat when I was about 9 years old, and it was a 10-foot utility racer that you rode on your knees, and you could get 2 people in it if you were good friends and nobody weighed over 100 pounds. It was okay, but had a little Mercury outboard on it, and it would fly. Actually, it would probably do close to 40.
Wow, that's moving right along. That was a big outboard. How big was it? 10 horse or something?
Well, it was a 10-horse motor, but it had a Quicksilver lower unit on it, which was a real short lower unit, little 2-blade prop, and it had been hopped up a little bit. I don't know for sure what they did in those days, but probably ported and polished a little bit here and there. But it made a terrible racket. It had a straight pipe on it that came off the side, so it sounded like a really mad hornet going across the lake.
I'll bet it did. How long did you have that?
Oh, I don't know, 3 or 4 years, I think.
Yeah, that must have been fun. Was there any competitive races with that thing?
No, I didn't. I attended some of those races, but I was too young to compete.
you had to be 16 in those days and get dirty with them.
Oh, that's funny. Sounded like fun. Yep, I'm with you. Okay, very good. Anything else for the net there, Mark?
Nope, not a thing. Watching the weather. So have a good net.
Very good. That was Mark, Whiskey Bravo 0, November, Oscar. Anybody else know it?
KB9 RKK.
Hey, yeah, got anything on the water?
Nope.
Or just they asked you if you had water. Never mind. It sounds like an insult if I asked you if you had water. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. Everything going all right up in your sector?
So good. Yeah. I'm not expecting any weather. Tomorrow's going to be the close the schools.
They close the schools if the principal, if the school board has this indigestion,
Yeah, well, I don't have to worry about it. It just usually means less traffic for me on the way to work.
Well, I do want they risk all kinds of problems with school buses because that's about the time the storm's going to hit tomorrow afternoon, and they have problems with people, if high winds or you know what I'm saying. It's cautionary tale. We're just going to close the schools.
Yeah, because I don't blame them. Don't blame them at all. No, I just got here. I just had I sold. I can't figure out enough wires to reverse the motor. So I don't know.
Turn the plug over.
Believe it or not, he tried that, but he's not. It doesn't work that way.
No, it does not. No, that's interesting. It's running the wrong way.
Yeah, it's going clockwise as viewed from the top. So, and all the ones I've ever seen go counterclockwise from the fan side of the motor. That's where you're supposed to go, but it's a ball door motor, and I opened it up, and there's only 3 wires coming out of it, not including the ground. I'm like, oh my God. Start winding, it's pre-wired. I can't reverse it.
Yeah, no, I don't know what the deal with that would be. And it's a direct drive.
Direct drive, yeah. It's a 16-inch old American classic Clark Industrial. I don't know. So I took a picture once I got all the sawdust off of it, and I was able to get a picture of the data plate. I'll look it up. We'll see. But I was just glad But it's funny that you were talking about water on the brain, because as soon as I walked in, my wife's like asking me about something half the time.
18 years. Man, that's something bad to ask for.
Yeah, I know. It's for friends of the family. They're no longer ever when they visited our friends in Spring Hill, and whether because the family says that the lady, her husband passed away. She claims that she was there, and they don't remember, and they're asking us, "How can we forget? We're not that old." And I'm like, "Believe it or not, you don't have to be that, and it happens."
Oh, you're absolutely right. Some things are just transitory, though. I mean, some of them it doesn't have a huge impact on your life, and you just go, "What? Really? That happened?"
Right, yeah. Because at the time, you're not thinking of going away because it's in a special. Yeah, and it's because the way computers work, our imagination, our brain, the way it stores it is not exact data like a computer. Look at your grandparents or your parents and go, man, what's the matter? As you get older, you're like, oh God, it's happening to me.
Yeah, I'm with you. Anything else for the net, Frank?
Negative. Thanks for doing it. Doesn't happen. I hope this is all exaggeration again and over preparation, but and just everything's good here. Thanks again. KB9 RKK.
Yeah, you didn't happen to hear that APRS signal, did you?
Yes, I just did, and I thought it might have been coming through from your microphone. So that was probably that was a radio signal, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know where it is. That's the second or third time I've heard it today. I don't know what the deal is. Why he'd be on this frequency? It's got to be a mistake unless he's just messing with us. Anyway, that was Frank. Kilo Bravo 9, Romeo Kilo in Northwest Mount Juliet. Anybody else before we move on?
Kilo
Kilo Delta 4 Victor Uniform Whiskey, Carlin and Bethpage.
Hey, Carlin, haven't from you in at least a little while. How you doing?
Doing okay, I guess. Sitting here just waiting to see what I reckon. Listening to the net.
Yeah, well, I think everybody's concerned about that. I hope nothing happens. I hope it's a little breezy because heavy winds can be, as we learned a couple of years ago. Well, we learn regularly, but those tornado winds, which do 100 and something miles an hour, they're no fun.
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping like some of the rest of them said here, but maybe they're just getting a little overzealous with the weather report and stuff. I'm hoping maybe they'll be wrong and we'll too much stuff from the weather service. But I don't know. Hopefully it'll just bypass. Yeah, I guess that would be the best way to look at it. Safe and sorry. Just, I don't know. And started picking back up again and started getting fronts getting closer to us. So, I don't know. It's been kind of warm right here for winter time and stuff. Hopefully, that the old groundhog was wrong and maybe we'll get an early spring after all. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Well, if you kind of think about it, they say it's going to be like, 6 more weeks of winter and stuff. And if you look at the calendar between the first day of spring and Groundhog Day, it's, maybe 7 weeks. Like, okay, y'all padding yourself, ain't you?
Yeah, that's why it's fun. It's just a fun event. I mean, like I said, I don't put in it. There's no way that animal's going to really know. Besides, what's he doing up in the middle of winter?
Well, maybe he went something like McDonald's. I don't know. Okay, well, then I'm going to get on out of here and let y'all get on with the net there. Thought I would check in and say howdy doody. Hadn't been in here in a while. So, anyway, with that said, I guess I'll be clear turning it back over to you. Kilo Delta 4 Victor Uniform Whiskey KD4 VUW up here at Bethpage. I'll be clear.
Very good. That's Carlin and Bethpage, Kilo Delta 4 Victor Uniform Whiskey, and with a good signal, by the way. Who else? Anybody else before I move on? Nobody. Lollygaggers, lurkers, or sandbaggers?
That's what I was waiting to hear. K1S to do.
Very good. You're self-identifying as a what?
Oh, I can't remember.
Oh, that's all right. Doing all right?
Yeah, good. No, you kept saying before you move on, I'm saying, well, where's he moving on to?
Moving on to 70 centimeters.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're
give me the number.
446, 415.
Okay, we'll try that. Try that one again. Okay. K1S today.
All right, very good. Anything else for the net, Scott?
Not me.
Very good. That was Scott in Laverne, Kilo 1 Sierra Papa Delta. Anybody? Lurkers, lollygaggers, or sandbaggers? Yeah, all righty. Then we'll move on. We had 27 there tonight. We're going to move right over to 70 centimeters. And I'm going over to 446, 415. Do I hear any complaints before I move? Very good. That's where we're going. 446, 415. Boy, that was quick. I can get over here so fast. This is K4PEW with the Mount Juliet Simplex Net on 70 centimeters. Taking from the west. Please come in.
KM4 YRF. And did I hear Jack check in tonight?
Yes.
I must have missed it somehow.
Well, I've had blackout periods too.
All right, nothing further. Back to net.
Very good. That's Michael, KM4YRF. Who else is West?
RJ1-4G. Yeah, Michael, I checked in. You just missed me.
All right. We had 2 in there. Whiskey Yankee 4 Golf. That's Jeff in Madison. And then we had Jack, Kilo Golf 4, India Lima Victor. He's in Donaldson. Both with excellent signals. Who else is West? Anybody else West? South?
K1S PD.
See how good your signal was there, Scott? You sound good.
All right. When did you start doing this one again?
Oh, I'm arbitrary. I do it every when I feel like
Hey, you the boss. K1 City.
it. I mean, if somebody else wants to do it, I'll be happy too. I'm not a hog about this stuff. Anyway, that's Scott, K1 SPD. Who else is West? West or South? All right, West or South or East?
Whiskey 8, Papa, Lima Alpha.
Boy, the signals make it out of Tucker's Crossroads pretty good on 77.
Yeah, you're about F9 on me out here, Paul.
Yeah, you sound great here. In fact, for a lot of people on 70 centimeters, it's really no difference in audio quality. I'm not looking at the meter here. There's no difference in audio quality between that and 2 meters.
Yeah, copy that. Hey, I forgot to mention a while ago that gentleman that had the Bofang for the 220 band. I was looking at my Bofang while he was talking, and tell him to check at the top of the display to see if there's a plus or minus. And if that's lit up, then he's got duplex turned on that for a repeater, and then look over to the side of the display. If it's got a CT or a DCS, that's going to indicate whether or not he's got receive turned on for the tones on it. And make sure all that stuff's turned off for Simplex.
Yeah. Were you able to copy that, Jeff? Jeff might have taken off.
No, I had to grab the microphone. No, I couldn't hear anything.
Oh, hey, we're just talking about, just double checking you're not on duplex for, and with the code, encode, decode, that whole thing on, you'll be able to see that on the screen.
Yeah, I couldn't. No, I didn't. I'm not watching it on YouTube, and I did not hear that other station. So that's so much for that. WY4G.
All right, we'll get it straightened out. You and me will get it straightened out if we have to. That was Jeff again. Of course, we had Whiskey 8 Papa Lima Alpha. That's Philip in Baird's Mill. I'm sorry, Tucker's Crossroads. And the wrong person with the wrong address there. Who else is South or East?
K94SIB.
Hey, what's going on? All right, Richard, I got you. You sound good. You sound better here on 70 centimeters than you did on 2 meters.
Yeah, I've got something going on over here. I don't know what, but nobody's sounding like they usually do. It don't sound bad, just don't sound like they usually do.
Yeah, no, we got some weird weather conditions which lead to those things. That was KI4 SIB and KI4 SOR in west of whatever, Lebanon. Who else is west, south or east?
Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor.
Very good. You cut out there at the end. Is everything all right there, Greg? Still there? Yeah, a little bit of there's almost like a tone on that thing, and you're breaking up just a little tiny bit.
Up and down.
Yeah, it was breaking up. Your signal keep breaking up. It's like stuttering, and that's not how I normally hear.
It's not to me.
Well, we don't care. I'm net control, man. No, we got a conditions between Smyrna and me then. I mean, Antioch, excuse me. All right, I got you in there, Greg. That was Greg, Kilo Delta 4, Charlie, Victor, F. East or east? South or east? Southeast or north?
KE4 TGX.
04 Romeo Victor Quebec.
Ah, we had a bunch in there. I had West in there, Kilo Echo 4, Tango Whiskey Indy with an excellent. I heard, who did I hear? Well, I heard Brent, that's what I heard. Kilo Echo 4, Romeo Victor Echo, and Northeast Wilson, I guess we'll call it.
KO4 TGX, John and 2 minutes.
I haven't heard from you in a, nice to hear you again, Joe.
Put me down for 2 meters as well. I just think it's a chance to check in.
All right. Good, you have good signal. As you would though, living here in Mount Juliet. That was Joe, Kilo Oscar 4, Tango, Juliet X-ray. That is
John, and it's KO4 TGX.
I'm sorry, I said Joe, didn't I? Sorry about that, John. 4, Tango, Juliet X-ray. Who else is east or north at this point?
John RKK.
Very good. You sound good, of course, Frank. Anybody else? Please come in. All right, I think we got them all. No lollygaggers or lurkers here. 28-415, and see what we can round up over there. Last chance. 415 it is, and we'll also be moving over to 223-415 after that. So, if Michael, would you announce? Yeah, 10 meters, please, on the 415.
Hey, Frank, KE42.
This is K4 PEW, and I control for the Mountain Radio Net on now from the west. What? Oh, very good. I'm sorry, I misheard you there, Jeff. They're in Madison. Who else is west?
KM4 YRS.
Very good. You sound good. They're the same stuff on 10 meters.
Yeah, it's a little noisy tonight.
Yeah, that's Michael in just west of the airport. They're at KM4.
KG4 LD, Jack and Donald.
Yeah, when I hear you noisy, I know it's a you sound good though, Jack. Kilo Go for India Lima Victor, cutting through the fog. Who else is west? Yeah, equally foggy signals tonight. That's Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo in Antioch. Who else is west or south? All right, I heard you good in there, Scott. Kilo 1 Sierra Papa Delta in the burn. Richard, I heard you. Are you copying me? Okay, very good. No, I heard Richard in there too. Richard, hear you. A little bit in the fog, but I can hear you. Okay, that was Kilo India 4 Sierra into Bravo, and his bride KI4 is wherever I was, south or east. Or north.
Romeo Victor Quebec.
Kilo Echo for Romeo Victor Quebec Brent in Northwest Wilson. Was that US, I heard?
Yeah, and of all the things, the E noise from me here tonight, so I don't know what's going on. I'm not going to complain. KE4 TWS.
Signal tonight, including yours.
Usually 10 meters is horrible for me, but not tonight. So I'm going to keep this the way it is. KE4 TWS.
Oh, that's interesting. All right, very good. That was west, guys. And on his end, it's very clear. Well, north or east? Any place, anywhere?
Kilo Bravo 9, Romeo Kilo.
Ah, very good. Got Frank in there. Very big signal, of course, cutting through most of the fog. Yeah, it's Kilo Bravo 9, Romeo Kilo. Anybody else in it?
Yeah.
Now we're having a big night tonight. I did hear Paul in there. Kilo Charlie 9 Echo Tango Sierra, and there was somebody else in there too. And Paul's in. Who was the other station?
I was commenting that 10 meters is clear to me tonight. It's not for you like you thought.
No, it's a little rough. It's a little. I say a little bit. I mean, it's not. I get a lot of hash on the signal. Oh, it did fade for you? Wow, because I didn't see any fade at all. Like most of the signals were excellent. That's right. It's probably them dang balloons or whatever they were. Yeah, very good. Anybody else? Please come now. Anybody? Is somebody copying anybody?
Did you hear Brent earlier?
I heard Brent, yes. Yeah, Pete checked in. Kilo Echo for Romeo, Victor, Quebec. I heard him just fine, actually. Who else was any place anywhere? 28415, which is really good. And we're going to move right over to anybody else out there? Anybody copying anything? Very good. And we'll just jump out. Appreciate everybody being there at 10 meters. There was a 12 of us in there tonight, which is a big night. 23415.
Hey, Frank, you still in the 14
This is K4PW with the fourth net of the night. Any other check-in? Who else out there? Let's start from the west. Please come now. Hey, Jack, how you copy on this band?
It's good so far.
70 centimeters wasn't too bad.
This may be the big band tonight.
Yeah, no, it sounds good at the moment. Who else is out there besides me and Jack? Please come now.
Delta 4 Charlie Victor Engine.
Very good. We got Greg and Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor. Are you hearing the same nice quiet signals tonight?
Yeah.
Isn't that weird that I would not suspect that this band would have those kind of problems when 2 meters, I mean, no problems when 2 meters.
I've been showing a lot of noise on my scope on 2 meters for a while now, a few days.
Well, I did meters. I did notice that earlier in the afternoon. There was a lot of spiky noise that's not usually that spiky.
Yeah, who knows?
I'm telling you, it's the balloons or balloon-like objects.
Well, those unidentified objects.
Once, what did I hear, for the sake of this discussion, I saw that brief interview with the Secretary of Defense, whatever his name is, that black guy. And not once when they talked about the balloons. And he says, we've increased our, our radars so that we get blah, 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 blah. We can see more. Once did he mention, nor did the interviewer mention, that our weather service puts up several hundred balloons every, maybe 1,000. I don't know.
It's all very odd. This gets back to with exposure of the UFOs that the Navy guys showed, and they're scaring us. They're wanting to scare us, so we spend more money on defense to support the military industrial complex.
Oh, that wouldn't surprise me at all. I'll tell you what, though, Greg, I don't know about you, but I ain't scared.
No, I'm enjoying the heck out of it.
Well, very good. Anybody else out there? Please come down. Yeah, you sound great. You're hearing nice, clear.
Oh, I hear Greg fine. I didn't hear Jack. I mean, I could tell he was there, but I couldn't hear him.
Jack, are you copying Frank over here in the?
I am. I think you were asking me. I can hear Frank in there.
Ah, very good.
Yeah, I don't have a copy on Frank at all.
There must be some. I don't remember if you had copied him before.
Almost never. I gotta get a real antenna up here.
Oh, that's right. You're operating on a handicap.
Yeah, I'm on the 510 using a VHF tuner to get it to play nice. It works good on 222. Pretty good SWR. My radio's not folded, but with the tuner, it works. Here, I'm getting an actual. Before I didn't get a reading on Greg, but now I do. I get like 1 bar or almost 2 bars.
Well, very good. I'm just happy to see that the conditions can be very good on 220. Anybody else in there? Please come down. Hey, you sound great there, Kevin. How are you copying stations?
Well, that I've heard so far.
Yeah, very good. It's a nice quiet night here on 2. That's the best I think I've heard you, the clearest.
Ready. I've tried every channel or every frequency that you called the net on tonight, and I wasn't been able to be on none of them. So I don't know. I just apparently got
something wrong over here on these antennas or trashy?
Well, they were trashy because normally you have a good 2 meter signal to me, and tonight it was not good.
Yeah, I just said, well, hell it is. Just was it by night.
Yeah, very good. Greg, are you copying Kevin over there in Lebanon?
Negative. I don't ever hear a peep out of Kevin. I think we're something's in between us on any of the band.
Yeah, I'm guessing Frank can hear him. Okay.
Yeah, he's only 2 bars, but he sounds like he's.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And Jack, who all are you copying?
I have 1 bar on Frank. I can kind of hear him, but the last.
And a little time, and that's about it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, yeah, no, just curious, just curious. Well, again, Kevin's his system's working real good tonight. Only has 25 watts, so that might be a barrier, but also it's a pretty good distance between Kevin and you. You know where he is, 11, so he's got quite a distance to where you are in Donaldson.
Yeah, that would be a stretch.
Well, unless both of you got.
Send us up probably 30 feet.
Oh, on the 220. Oh, you're doing great. You just which radio? How much power you got now?
I've got that same radio that repeats.
Oh yeah, that's right. You gave up the 25. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I gave that to Michael. I'm waiting for him to get his antenna up.
Yeah, no, it's well, it's one of those things. It's everything takes everything in.
Well, after the storm, he may be glad it's not up tonight.
Oh yeah, well, I'll have to ask him if he needs help. I'll be happy to go over there. I'll send my wife over there.
Yeah, I think he was under the weather last week when he couldn't really get it up there.
Yeah, he was. He was having some sinus difficulties. Didn't stop for.
Who knows?
Very good. Anything else? Anybody else have anything for the net?
Are they really closing schools for this weather?
And tomorrow, Wilson County Schools. They're afraid of high winds and tornadoes and all that crap.
I think it's a tornado thing. You know, like the threat is that big. I guess that's just how it is now.
Well, it is how it is. Parents are, every parent in the school system has an attorney now.
The liability, wow.
Oh, it's true. All those issues together, being in a school when there's a storm, and or having to travel to and from school in your car, and or the school bus systems, there's more liability you can shake a stick at, so they get worried.
Well, this thunderstorm could build to the point that balloons come falling out of the air.
Could be, could be. I like the fact that, and you didn't hear the Secretary of Defense what he said about, it's hard to get going 250 miles an hour. Getting a good visual definition cameras that can pick it up easily.
Yeah, that was fishy. It is true that they can't go slow at that altitude, and they have good grief. Just from the ground, they can take such great photos.
Didn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
And or they're stupid.
Yeah. They want us to think that possibility in defense. It's all part of that disclosure.
Yeah, no, I don't doubt it. Anybody else got anything for the net? Because we're already in tonight.
Well, all I gotta say, Paul, is everybody's talking about the ball.
Somebody asked on the. My dad used to deal with that. Not that vinyl chloride. That was the other. The other one was out west in with that. It let loose, and they got everybody all upset.
Yeah, I mean there was 4 or 5 different suckers, and then they burned it, and they only cleared like basically a 2-mile area. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. And then people are going back and it smells, and they lift it the next day. I'm like, this is a disaster here. Wait, this is a big time mistake. Really bad.
Oh, it's horrible. And plus, it hangs kind of low.
I remember that's the thing.
Absolutely, and it is deadly. Yeah, that's a big deal. Anyway, let me jump out of here. We'll close out the net. K4PEW. You guys have a great night. I'll be willing to hang out here.